Let's start the show, shall we, with your side, Arsenal. Hold on, I've got to be professional. Let's not laugh when I say this. Arsenal suffered back-to-back losses in the Premier League. Can't do it. In the Premier League for the first time this season, after they were smashed 2-1 by Fulham on Sunday.
Smashed?
Yeah. The Gunners boss, McElhenney, spoke to talkSPORT after the game. He was asked what his side needs to improve following a disappointing end to the year.
Apart from today, the performance. Apart from today, the other 19 games, when after 20 games, today you can be top of the league on the 31st. Not a lot of things that have to be changed. We have to maintain a lot of things, because if you could be the best team in England by doing that for 19 games, today it cannot be a catastrophe, and then you have to change everything.
What's happened with your team? What's happened? Because there was a time, I can't remember what it was, when Man City played about a week and a half ago, Everton.
Yeah.
And I said, if they lose this, do you know what? It wouldn't surprise me if they don't win the Premier League. I don't know why I said that. I look at the table now, they're 5 points off top spot. They're still favourites. They've got 2 games in hand.
There you go.
But at that time, Arsenal was sort of within touching distance of, I think, extending their lead to 5 points.
Yeah.
Now, 2 defeats. They're 4th. Just a point in front of Spurs, who have a depleted side and will be even more depleted when the AFCON starts, or even now because the players have left for it. What's happened to Arsenal, Benny? They're actually now in a worse position than this time last season.
Yeah, not great. I mean, the performance against West Ham at home wasn't good enough. It was flat. We said that. Fair play to West Ham, played really well. And the Fulham game as well, when they went 1 up, I thought, okay, here we go. Let it slip again. But at the minute, it just seemed a bit flat from Arsenal. A bit one-paced. Plays too slow. Looks like Saka needs a bit of a rest, even though he's getting his goals. And again, you look at the stats from this season to last season, and you look at Saka. He's only 1 goal down and 1 assist down from his performances the numbers last season.
Yeah.
Maybe his performances aren't as good as they were last season because he looks tired. Martinelli's way down. Like, you talk about 5 goals less than he had at the same stage last season. But he's got to stick with it. Arsenal's got to stick with it.
Stick with what? The front 3?
Oh, yeah, of course.
So at the moment, your front 3, Martinelli, Jesus, Saka, 12 goals.
Well, listen, other than Saka, who is still putting up the numbers, but still needs a rest, Martinelli and Gabriel Jesus has got to pick the numbers up. And I always found it interesting, and I always felt like it might come back to bite him. Because you remember, was it the start of the season when Gabriel Jesus said, he said something like, it's not his strong point scoring goals.
That's right.
Like, that's not the most important job. And I think he said something like, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but it was almost like, for him, scoring goals wasn't the most important thing. I think if you're a centre forward, it has to be. Like, I know he's an outstanding player. He's touched the way he can bring people into the game.
He's not prolific though.
But other than that, if you're a centre forward, you have to score goals, right? There's only been a few where you can kind of overcompensate. I think back to Liverpool, Roberto Firmino, almost kind of sacrificed maybe some of the numbers he would have got to the likes of Salah and Mane could flourish, and boy, did they flourish. But I think for Gabriel Jesus, he spends too much time outside the box for me. I think if you're a centre forward, get in and amongst the box. Let someone else worry about out there. You get in the box, get on the end of things. But all Arsenal can do now is just keep it going, keep trying to create opportunities and keep trying to score goals. But in January, they have to strengthen. Now, I'm not sure one signing, like an Ivan Toney, who I do like, I think will make a massive difference, is almost like, we sign Ivan Toney, that's it, we're going to win the league. I don't think it works like that. I think Arsenal need full-backs. I think you need another midfield player.
Full-backs?
Backs.
Right.
Potentially. I think you need another midfield player.
That's 3.
Yeah, you need a cover for Saka.
4.
That's 4. So all of a
And
sudden...
a number 9?
Yeah, and a number 9.
So 5. You're talking about half the team.
Now, if you're going to go and spend 80 million on Toney, there's not a lot of change elsewhere. So I'm not quite sure if that's the right thing to do, although it makes the most sense. There are other areas as well that Arsenal need to
But let me
address.
ask you this, right? You're an Arsenal fan, so it's difficult, I understand it, as it is for me when I'm talking about my side. It's difficult for you to talk about your side as if it was another side. If it was another side, if this was a Man United or a West Ham or Brighton or even a Newcastle, and you got a manager that was in touching distance last season, spent £500 million, brought in £100 million plus player, and they were going a little bit backwards, which is currently the state of play at Arsenal, you would be on radio now saying question marks about the manager.
No, because I think there's been signs that the club's going in the right direction. Obviously, there's a blip now.
Yeah.
But again, they're still in the title race. They're not out of it, are they? They're not falling away.
But you're not confident talking about that.
Yeah, but I wasn't confident last season.
I know, but about 3 weeks ago, you were sitting there with a big smirk on your face.
Yeah,
as if to go, we're going to win the Premier League.
I'm still happy. I would never say that they're going to win it because of the juggernauts in
But
Manchester
you fancied
City.
it. You don't now.
I thought we had a better chance this season than last season because I thought the drop-off for Manchester City was a little bit like, we haven't seen this before. But as per usual, they do what they do and they're back within touching distance. But
how do you feel now?
Nervous.
Do you think you can win the Prem?
I think we can, but do I think we will? I'm probably at 80% we won't, 80% we won't, 20% we will.
Okay. Your third favourites, right? City, Liverpool, then you?
I'd say so, yeah.
You wouldn't put Villa above you?
No.
You wouldn't?
No.
I mentioned there your front three, which is what we're talking about today. Have they got the worst front three in the top six? Martinelli, Jesus, Saka, 12 goals. I know a lot of these teams I'm going to talk about, they do mix and match, but Luis Diaz, Nunez and Salah, 24 goals.
Again, with the Liverpool one, not even an argument. They've got one of the best players that the Premier League's ever seen. And they've got one of the best goal scorers the Premier League's ever seen. So it's like, wow. He, regardless how he plays Salah, will always hit the numbers. So
but he's not been rested.
No, he doesn't.
And Saka hasn't been rested.
No, but Saka's not in the same bracket.
No,
as
I'm not putting him in. I mean, he looks so tired. His last cross, or one of his last crosses against Fulham, looked like he had divers boots on.
You think every time Arsenal get the ball, they give it to him? Like, but with Salah, he's so durable. Listen, he's fit as they come. He will always get his numbers. Like, you could put any other two wide men with Salah, and that front three's numbers will still be high.
Villa have got 19 goals. City, I know they've got an abundance of talent, 25. Spurs, and I'm putting Son on the left, playing Richarlison down the middle, who's hit wonderful form of late. Kulusevski's 23.
Yeah.
West Ham are on 19 as well. So out of the top six,
Arsenal got the worst.
By 7.
Yeah, and I think it comes down to, like, if I had to put blame on one of the front three, not even blame, but it's Martinelli and Jesus have got to put their numbers up. But even before the goal against Fulham, Saka, Jarrod Bowen on his own has scored as many as Arsenal's front three. That can't happen. No. If you're pushing for a Premier League title, that can't happen.
You always get football fans that give one defeat, maybe two, all of a sudden turn on the team, the club and the manager. Any Arsenal fans out there will think Arteta's the wrong man for the job?
You always get some in a football club that will be like, do you know what, enough's enough. But I think the majority of Arsenal fans will recognise the good that he's done, where the club was when he took over and where the club is now, and we'll go, no, he's 100% the right man for the job.
Can you finish outside the top 4 this season?
I don't think we will.
You don't?
No.
Top 4 as it is? Liverpool, Villa, City, Arsenal?
No, Spurs will get in there. I think Villa might... At
the expense of Aston Villa?
Villa might drop out, yeah.
Okay.
talkSPORT Drive. Super opinionated sporting debate. Monday to Friday afternoon from 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.